So I do think that the president will veto a bill, and he'll be representing principles that a lot of Republicans agree with. Doesn't want to federalize or socialize health care. And then after that, after everybody has scored their points, maybe they can tweak the bill a little and get an expansion of SCHIP.
The Democrats say they're not going to just take no for an answer. They're going to press the issue, bring it up again, let them veto it again.
Once they get the political benefit of a presidential veto that they can cast as a heartless blow against children, maybe they will decide that it's better to actually expand SCHIP in whatever way they can and get a bill passed. We'll see. I don't think that's the final word from
Bill, let's talk about the substance of the actual Democratic bill as it is now proposed, which would raise from $5 billion a year to $12 billion a year, more than double in terms of spending the Children's Health Insurance Program. Is this a legitimate expansion of a good program, or is it, in effect, creating a middle-class entitlement?
Well, first of all, whenever I hear anything about heartless assaults on our children, I tend to think it's a good idea. So I'm happy that the president is engaged.
I think a lot of our viewers would not be surprised to hear
I'm
that.
happy that the president's willing to do something bad for the kids. You do wonder about the Democrats. If I could just say, putting a 12-year-old, I mean, how pathetic is that? A 12-year-old kid giving the radio address, Nancy Pelosi pretending she's praying for the president. You really wonder how stupid they think the American people are. Look, poor children are covered by Medicaid. This was to cover children between 100% and 200% of poverty. The Democrats are now expanding it up to 300% of the poverty line. There are two ways, if you think you need to help children and families between 200% and 300% of the poverty line, which is already double to triple of poverty, you can do it two ways: expand government insurance or make it easier for those families to buy private insurance. Republicans want to try to make it easier through the tax code to buy private insurance. Democrats want to expand government insurance. I think it's a good philosophical fight for Republicans if they can explain the issue well enough that the Democrats can't simply get away with demagoguing it.
When you have 3.7 million uninsured children in America, you know you have a crisis, and that goes beyond politics. And it's time for somebody on either side of this issue stand up and say, wait a second, let's make a deal. And what you've seen in the House is Democrats willing to compromise, to come down, to say, you know, we're not going to cover immigrants, we're not going to cover young adults, we want to cover kids. Now, that's not a bad thing. And I'm surprised to hear you say, oh, how dare you use a child? What do Republicans do except use soldiers and everything else to bolster their arguments?
Soldiers are children.
Oh, come on. Yeah, just use the uniforms and everything else. And in fact, politicians get in uniforms and jump on ships to talk about missions accomplished. Come on.